Hey everyone, welcome back. If you're still with me, thank you, because what I'm about to share next, well, it still stings to talk about. That Christmas dinner, I had it all planned. I cooked most of the meal myself. Turkey, garlic mashed potatoes, roasted carrots with honey glaze. All the works. I even baked Carrera's favorite dessert, red velvet cupcakes with cream cheese frosting. I wanted it to feel like home, like family. She walked through the door with that same cold air she'd carried the last few years, hugged her mother, gave her little sister a distracted hello, and then gave me a nod. A stiff, almost reluctant nod, like I was the UPS guy dropping off a late package. Still I smiled. I said, "Merry Christmas, sweetheart." She didn't respond. We sat down at the table, everyone digging in. For a moment, I allowed myself to believe maybe we could just enjoy this meal. Pretend the distance hadn't carved itself so deeply between us. But then she said it. Out of nowhere, in front of everyone. Sophia, her parents, our youngest daughter. Carrera put her fork down and said, "Guess what? My dad's flying me out to Miami for New Year's. First class. He got us tickets to see Travis Scott. Courtside seats for the Heat game too." Everyone smiled, made the usual wow noises. Except me. I just sat there. I didn't say a word. Couldn't. Because I knew what came next. I'd seen it before. She looked right at me and added, "I told him I always wanted to see the ocean. He said it's time I lived a little." Now let me be clear. It wasn't about the trip. It wasn't about the tickets or the ocean. It was how she said it. How she looked at me while saying it, like it was a challenge. Like she wanted me to know she was choosing him. And still I tried to keep it together. I said, "I hope you have a good time. Just be safe." And then she smiled, that sarcastic, bitter smile, and said, "Don't worry, I'll finally be with my real family." Silence. Even the clinking of forks stopped. I turned to Sophia, waiting, praying for her to say something. Anything. She didn't. She just looked down at her plate. In that moment I felt the final thread snap. The last bit of rope I'd been clinging to for years broke loose and let me fall. I stood up, pushed my chair back slowly, and I said calmly, not out of anger but out of clarity, "I think I'm done." Everyone looked up, confused. Sophia said, "Done with what?" I said, "With pretending. With investing my heart into something that clearly doesn't want it. I've spent years trying to be a father, partner, provider, and all I've gotten back is silence, resentment, and distance. I've shown love to a child who sees me as nothing more than an inconvenience. I've stood beside a woman who, when it mattered most, stood behind her silence." Carrera rolled her eyes, muttered, "It's always about you, huh?" But I wasn't talking to her anymore. I was talking to Sophia. I don't blame her for not loving me. That's not something you can force. But I do blame you for making me believe I was building something with you, with this family, while you stood by and watched me drown. Sophia's father cleared his throat, probably trying to ease the tension. But I was already walking away. That night I packed a bag and stayed at a hotel. A week later, I moved into a small rental across town. I didn't make a scene. I didn't post about it. I didn't trash talk anyone. I just stopped trying to pour from an empty cup. The irony. A few months after I left, Carrera called me. Out of nowhere. She said she needed help with her taxes. That her real dad wasn't answering. Said she didn't know where else to turn. Helped her. Walked her through it over the phone. Never once said, "I told you so." She thanked me quietly. And before she hung up she asked, "Why are you still so nice to me after everything?" I paused, then said, "Because I meant it when I said I'd be there. Even if you didn't." And maybe that's the biggest lesson I've learned. Being a stepfather, it's not about blood. It's not about acknowledgement or even gratitude. It's about integrity. Loving someone with no guarantee of return. But even integrity has its limits. If you're listening to this and you're a step-parent, a guardian, someone who's tried to build a bridge where there was only a canyon, I see you. Really do. This story isn't about bitterness. It's about knowing when to stop setting yourself on fire just to keep other people warm. Thanks for hearing me out. I'll see you in the next one. And if you've got a story of your own, something that's been sitting heavy on your chest, drop it in the comments. You're not alone. Not here. Not anymore.